Fantastic. It's Carl here from Games, Brains and a Head-Banging Life, and I'm very pleased to be talking to Chris, vocalist and guitarist of death metal heavyweights Skeletal Remains. Chris, it is an absolute pleasure to speak with you. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for having me. Thanks for taking the time. And yeah, I'm doing great. Can't complain. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. And it's funny because the last time we spoke to you was December 2019 at the Ulu in London. The world looks very different to how it does now. How have you been coping?
Yeah. Damn, that was a killer show. Yeah, man, it's been pretty crazy. A lot of stuff has, so much shit has changed in just a matter of a couple months. And we're taking it day by day, trying to stay as positive as possible. We're mostly just happy that all our family and our loved ones are healthy and doing good. But yeah, I mean, we can't really do shit with the band. We're not able to play shows or anything, so that really sucks. But we're really counting the days for this new record to drop, and we're really excited to see what everybody thinks. And yeah, we're just taking it day by day, man.
Yeah, because it's kind of difficult when you kind of start to make your complaints where it's kind of like, okay, it's affected the band as a unit, you can't do this and you can't do that, but ultimately, if everyone's well, that's the positive. As a unit, how easy has it been to keep that positive mindset?
I mean, it's that hasn't really been any issue or anything.
That's
We're
good.
pretty positive people to begin with, so we're just, like I said. I mean, we're really excited to release this record. I think that's what's kind of been holding us off, because if we didn't have this record, I don't know what it would. I mean, I guess we could be writing,
Yeah.
but we wouldn't really have much to look forward to, because we're just not sure when we'll be able to actually start touring again and playing shows, which is, one of the most important things in the band, going out there and playing for our fans. So I think this record, is really holding us up and keeping us, excited for something. And yeah, we're like I said, we're pretty positive people to begin with. So we're just hoping that, everything will be back sooner than later.
The expectation for a band that plays such heavy music, such a take on death metal, is that you would be super depressive and super negative. So it's awesome to hear that you're all staying positive.
Yeah. Now we're not I mean, we try to write some pretty brutal music, but we're pretty positive people, and in our normal life and all. So yeah, I mean, like I said, man, we're just happy that we're all healthy, and all our family and our loved ones are happy, and that's that's the most important thing right now. So I'm once the shows come back, we're looking forward to that. But the first and foremost is just everybody staying healthy and staying that it hasn't affected us any of us as far as our health or anything like that. So that's the most important thing.
Well, absolutely. And as you already said, the focus now is on the incoming release of the new album, The Entombment of Chaos, September 11th, Century Media Records. Aside from your excitement, how are you feeling about the finished product? Now you kind of are this close to the release.
Yeah, like I said, man, we're all really stoked. This is, I mean, I'm sure I say this every record, but I think this is our best work yet. I mean, it's a very extreme, aggressive record. It's something that we've been wanting to do for a very long time, but not having the right team and not having the right members, I guess it was impossible. But we've always wanted a record that's very aggressive, very extreme, heavy, and brutal. So yeah, I think we were able to accomplish that with this record, and we're really excited to see what people think. And having someone like Dan Swano mixing and mastering, he did such a killer job that we're all very stoked with the finished product. And yeah, man, it's the whole thing, how it works. We have the finished product 3 or 4 months before the actual release date, so it's just the whole waiting game that sucks. Waiting for everybody to hear. But yeah, man, we're really stoked on how everything came out, and like I said, we just can't wait for everyone to hear it and see what people think about it.
Well, yeah, talking about how it came out, Skeletal Remains, your past three albums, very, very heavy, very brutal. Yet the Entombment of Chaos is kind of pushing that to an even darker level. What kind of made you want to go deeper and, dare I say, meatier?
Um, I think it was more just of like a natural progression. We're all improving and getting better as with time. As musicians and the whole musicianship as a band. So it was more just like a natural. Obviously, when we do a record, our take is just to try and give the listener something fresh and not try and release the same album twice. So that's something we always keep in mind when we're writing new music. Try and spice things up and make things up a little, make things a little different than our previous records. If you take a listen, each record sounds different from each other. So that's something we definitely try to do. But yeah, I don't know. Like I was saying, we've always wanted a very extreme aggressive sounding record, and that's something that we want when we were writing this record. We obviously wanted to do, and I think the stuff like I think it also like what we were going through personally, like me and Mike when we were writing this record.
Yeah.
I think that also kind of influenced to make this record sound what it sounds like. We were going through a lot of like personal shit, and I think that helped the record be so aggressive and brutal. But and obviously some of the lyrical topics on some of the songs influenced that as well.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's just I think it's just something that just happened naturally. Yeah.
It sounds the sum of all of Skeletal Remains parts of the last year or two, I guess, how long your writing process was.
Yeah. So I think I did like half of the record, like 3 or 4 songs during the whole touring cycle of the last record, Divine Mortality. When I was home and stuff, I would try to write, and
Cool.
so I did most of that on my own with the last lineup. Trying to write stuff with them, but there wasn't really any more input from the rest of the guys with the first couple songs from this album. That's one of the reasons why we had that lineup change. Things just weren't working out with the last lineup. So
Fair enough.
I was doing most of the writing by myself, and then once Mike came back in the band, having someone that hasn't done this in a long time and is like hungry for it. We finished that second half of the record in the matter of 6 weeks to 2 months, so quite quick. Everything came out a lot better than we expected. We weren't sure what it was going to sound like, because me and Mike haven't written music together since the demo, so we just weren't sure what it was going to come out like. But yeah, like I said, it came out very aggressive, and we're really happy with the finished product, and also really stoked.
Yeah, but it's not just like out and out death metal either. There's a bit of doom melody, even instrumental. Is this the most layered Skeletal Remains release so far?
I think so. There's definitely, we definitely had tried a lot of different ideas for this record. The instrumental being one, having more of an interlude and stuff like that, and did some clean vocals on one of the songs. So yeah, that we try to experiment and and try different things instead of trying to repeat ourselves. Like I said earlier, we just wanted it. Yeah, we just wanted to try and change things up a little bit, and I mean, but it's still it's still Skeletal Remains. It's still death metal and aggressive and stuff. But we try to experiment with things here and there and try to spice things up a little bit.
Yeah, and having heard this album already, lucky me, this feels like a big moment for Skeletal Remains. Is this something you're feeling?
Yeah, definitely. Once we were done with this record, there was a certain feeling that we got that we're like, damn, this is something like special. We feel like this is, like I said, our best record. It's not this. I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain the feeling we got once we heard the finished mix and played it from front, from the beginning to to the end of the album, we were really like, yeah, I think this is going to be, the record for us. But I guess we'll see what happens. I mean, some people might not like it. It's a little bit different than our previous stuff. So some people might not be happy with it, and some people might, we might gain new fans from it. But yeah, I guess we'll just see what people think.
That's all you can do. But up to this point, you've obviously had singles out, and the positive response to them has been very, very good. Is that something you pay attention to, or do you just tend to sit back and think you've not seen anything yet?
No, I mean, we definitely look at that stuff, and we appreciate, obviously, everybody appreciating the music and stuff. But I mean, no matter what style of music, whatever you're playing, there's always going to be people that are not going to like it. It's just not for everybody. You can't please everybody. But there's definitely been a lot more positive feedback than negative, and it seems like everybody's digging this direction that we're going for in this new record. So yeah, I'm quite stoked about all that, and I'm quite happy with all the positive response that we've gotten from everybody. So yeah, I mean, if everybody's liking these 2 new singles we've released so far, I think everybody's going to be stoked on the whole record, because it's pretty much all similar to those first 2 singles that we dropped.
And of course, if you pick up the limited edition digipack, you get a bonus track in the form of a cover, Discarnate's Stench of Paradise Burning. What made you want to cover this track in particular?
So when me and Mike started this band, it wasn't really started as a band. It was more of me and Mike and a few friends getting together, playing some covers, drinking some beers, and hanging out when we were bored, didn't have shit
Having
to do.
fun.
When I was touring and stuff with my other band. So Disincarnate was a band that we would always be covering a lot of songs from that record, Dreams of the Carry On Kind, and so those songs, that song and a couple more songs were songs that we already knew. And once we released the first demo, and obviously after the first album, there was always talk about we had always talked about doing this song as a cover. So originally this cover was supposed to be on our second record. But the drummer that we used for our first record, who was supposed to be on the second record, when we recorded our second album, Condemned to Misery, we actually recorded it twice. We recorded it with the first lineup, with the old drummer, and we just weren't too stoked on how it sounded. The drumming wasn't just cutting it for us, and so we decided to part ways with that drummer, and we asked our good friend Carlos Cruz to help us out for the record. And since it was somewhat of a last minute thing for Carlos to come in and and to re-record the record with us, we kind of just skipped we scratched the idea of doing the cover, because we wanted him to focus on the original songs instead of having to learn an extra song.
Yeah, that's fair.
So yeah, so that's why it didn't happen on the second record. And once Devouring came out, our third record, the idea came back to the table, and we were going to do the cover, but the drummer that we used on that record wasn't stoked on that. He just wasn't a fan of Disincarnate, and he wasn't willing to take the time to learn the cover. So we're like, all right, it's fine, we won't do it. So we did the Cancer cover instead. So it's something that we've been wanting to do for quite some time. It just didn't happen because of different reasons. So finally, for this record, we're like, well, why don't we just do the cover finally? Since we have time, and we have Charlie, who's also a fan of the Disincarnate and was willing to learn the song. So yeah, it was more of just something that we've been wanting to do for quite some time, and it was more of just us paying it, like doing a tribute to one of our favorite bands, and
and your past.
Disincarnate being yeah, exactly.
That's awesome. But you also brought in Simon Dusson of Carnation. How did that come about?
Yeah, so we've been really good. I mean, we've been good friends with Carnation since I think we met. I think on our second European tour. when we played a show together somewhere in Europe, and we became really good friends since then. And yeah, we're just like really good friends. And I did
Awesome.
guest vocals for a few of the Carnation songs
Hmm.
on their last record, and we had always talked about having Simon do some guest vocals for us, either like backups or do something. And so once this whole Disincarnate thing came back up, the idea, we just thought it was a perfect fit to have his vocals on there because we're really a big fan of a big fan of Carnation and also Simon's vocals, and we just thought it would fit perfect with this song. And yeah, that's kind of how it happened. It was kind of just something similar that we've been wanting to do for some time, and we finally got around to do it.
Awesome. That's amazing. All right. You've got a few things in place for 2021, but obviously, as we talked about at the start, and it's an elephant in the room, you can't get out there and play these albums tracks live. It's on the back burner for now. Is that something you've been able to now come to terms with? And are you basically just waiting for the green light?
Yeah, man, that's pretty much it. I mean, we've been rehearsing as much as possible. We actually just because we didn't have a drummer, we've been without a drummer for since the beginning of the year, since we had the lineup change. Charlie, obviously, who played on the record, isn't a full time. He was just kind of helping us out and filling in and stuff. So we've been without a drummer for some time, and we finally got a full lineup again. So we've been rehearsing, practicing all the new songs and stuff, and getting everything as tight as possible. But yeah, we're pretty much just waiting for that green light. I mean, we have a show in October, but it's not, like I said, it's not sure. We're not sure if it's going to happen or not, with all this stuff changing from day to day or whatever. So we're hoping that it will happen, but if it doesn't happen, then we're looking forward to hopefully being able to do some stuff at least next year. I mean, we already have shows booked for as early as April of next year. And then we have like some European tours that are supposed to happen next year, because most of the stuff that were supposed to happen this year just got moved to next year. So nothing really got canceled. It just got moved. So there's still plans to, to try and do most of the stuff we were supposed to do this year, but who knows if it's going to happen or not. Everybody, it's like I said, things are kind of changing, from day to day or whatever, month to month. So we'll see if it happens or not. But yeah, man, it would suck to, put out a record and not be able to get out there and, and play the music for everybody. So I guess we'll see what happens. But we're definitely just taking it day by day, waiting for that green light to, to be able to get back out there.
It is as simple as watch this space. Chris, finally, the Entombment of Chaos, in my opinion, has all the hallmarks of a glass ceiling smashing release. Are you ready to burst through and make Skeletal Remains a household name?
yeah, man. Fuck yeah, sure. Yeah.
Simple as that. Chris, thank you very much for your time. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much for watching. You can check us out on gbhbl.com as well as on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and Tumblr. Go to Patreon to help us out over there. That's patreon.com/GBHBL, as well as Big Cartel, where you can find some of our merchandise. We have a podcast running on SoundCloud and Apple Podcasts. And of course, if you like this video, do us a favour, hit the subscribe button and help the channel grow. Games, horror and heavy metal. What else is life for?